and
Can I
each
see
single
it?
lot got placed under the same corporation, which holds the entire project.
Yeah.
So all we do is we exchange the owners of the corporation.
Yeah, and your vision is to have those stay together, obviously.
You should do it in slow motion.
As you see, it's a very private area. Like I could, for example, well, there's. I explained that to Josh too a little bit. There's several ways of doing this. Number one, somebody comes and takes the project, does with it whatever they
What
want.
does it have?
Perfect, right?
Well, maybe if it doesn't fit your vision or your owner's
I'm
vision,
just
it may
weird
not be.
stepping off.
Basically, when somebody gives us the money that we're asking for,
Did it turn off?
go ahead.
There's
do
nothing
what
that you
want.
can do about it, yeah.
Okay.
That's it. There's no restrictions.
What are you
Right.
doing, dude?
There's no
I
nothing.
want to see something.
Let me,
That's basic. That's
let me,
option number
I'm
one.
filming, you can have it in a
Option
second.
number two, which is part of that too, is I have already developed an entire vision project for this specific property, and the owner is pleading me. That was the reason he approached me. Please take it and realize it.
Okay. And is it in alignment with Josh's vision?
It's very similar. I think we have like too many similarities almost at times. It's crazy reading him.
Yeah.
Right? And I think one of the reasons he had an easy time actually approaching and talking to me was because we are thinking very similar. I think the only thing that's different in our system is my goal, 100%, would be to have a community where the center becomes communal, but the lots are privately owned. There will be restrictions placed on it as to ensure the natural stage of the property as well as protecting the resources such as
What we call
water
zoning now.
and but very easygoing ones.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have building restrictions or anything like this. The only restriction I would place would be I don't want to see more than 40% of the lots being covered by construction, as to keep it natural as a view. And I don't want anybody, if I would develop my project, I don't want anybody to put me 50 containers on the ridge and I don't get any breeze in the center. Right? That doesn't make any sense. Like I would look for sensitive people, but I would actually, the reason I was developing it is because I would like to be completely self-sustainable.
Yeah.
Lot number 14, I have an agronomer from Costa Rica, really famous in hydroponic gardening, completely organic. He has looked at it, at the size of it, and he says, I can feed you at least 50 people year-round. At least. And easy. Not
That's your
much,
area.
Not much investment.
Yeah.
And I already have all these fruit trees here, and it hasn't even done anything. I have the water, I have the solar specialist.
You have a $500
I don't need the
one
government.
again.
Somebody clicks off the system out there, I don't even recognize it.
Yep. Awesome.
So you can run this whole community solar.
It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely. I have right now on
Yeah, the
standby
purple
4
fuzzy
solar
ones. And the
specialists
black
that have
ones are
over
cool.
15 years of experience installing huge, even including Intel in Costa Rica.
And the tent
And
hookup's great.
yeah, one of my friends is like, his name is Todd Dallin, personal friend. I have 2 of those. One lives in Brazil, the other lives in Manhattan. Todd Dallin is a world famous architect. He actually did Future Tent Limited, which maybe you've seen the MTV showrooms and the press halls on the Atlanta Olympic Games, which were like famous because they turned into big screen TVs
Right,
and
right, I have
stuff like
seen that,
that.
yes.
That's Todd,
Oh,
his
okay.
company.
Yeah.
And Todd has worked for NASA on many projects. But Todd is a Costa Rican nature lover, personal friend of mine, and we have built tents, domes together in the rainforest on the Osa.
Okay.
Pop-up buildings that do not
Is it-
require building permits because they're transportable.
Okay.
You need 3 walls in
Is
order
it-
to be a house in Costa Rica. Part of the rules.
Can we go
You
back
don't
now?
have walls, you're not a house. And he developed
Amazing.
tents. There's a way around
I
everything.
love you.
And he developed actually his tents. The fabric itself is a solar panel.
How do you deal with the sewage? Is there sufficient?
Sewage, in this sense, everything in Costa Rica, what we don't have in Costa Rica, it doesn't exist, is a public pumping system. We do not, and there's only one city that has actually installed it and still operates it, and that was installed actually by different companies, outstanding companies. It's Celedon.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere else, basically, they have a treatment plant, so they have a very restricted and very minimal pumping system that doesn't have any pumps. It basically has gravity runoff.
Yeah. Okay.
And everybody else, all of Manuel Antonio, everybody runs on that is personal septic tanks, usually 2-chamber septic tanks with a drain field.
Yeah. And is it permitted for the drain fields? So you have to follow certain.
No, it's just
Guidelines.
part. They don't care. If you know, the government here cracks up laughing, saying like, if your septic tank doesn't work, guess who's gonna have problems?
Yes.
You. Yeah.
So if you're not going to build a smart septic tank,
But they
Need
do
it to
give
rain.
guidelines, probably.
Please
No,
for like
no
15
guidelines?
minutes.
Oh,
Need to
so you
rain.
just
you
figure-
are
We're
not
just
allowed.
we're just gonna shovel, dig, and bury.
Yeah, okay.
You can do that too. But you are not
Can I have
allowed
some water?
to place raw sewage or gray water into nature.
Okay.
So you will have to come up with some sort of system that converts it from raw into
Spill
reintroduction.
water on
Yeah.
me.
And they do enforce that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. In my case, if I would run my project and people would build on these ridges, there would not be my water sources are in the valley. None of the septic tanks would be allowed on the inner valley. They would go this way. But in reality, because our